Welcome to the official podcast of PHP Architect. Join us to listen to the latest news and tech talk from our conferences, the magazine, and wider PHP community.
You heard the lady. This is the official podcast of PHP Architect, and I am one of your hosts, Eric Van Johnson, and with me is John Congdon.
Hi, it's me.
This is episode 2025.10.16. This podcast focuses on PHP and web development. We also touch on the larger PHP community, general life of being a developer, and of course, we're going to talk about our company, PHP Architect, the company, the conference, the swag, and anything else that happens to come out. The magazine. We got a new magazine coming out. Really excited about that. And everything. If you're not joining us live, we record every Thursday around 3 p.m. Pacific time. But you should think about joining us live. Today is a perfect example where you could be talking to like one of the greatest people in the PHP community.
Oh, thanks, Eric.
That's so nice going to be here too. We had the same idea. God damn it. This podcast is made better thanks to our partners over at Honeybadger. Honeybadger helps you deploy with confidence and be your team's DevOps hero by combining error, uptime, and performance monitoring all in one platform. It's free to get started. The setup only takes a few minutes. Be the hero your team needs. Suit up at honeybadger.io. Come on, John. It's been a while since I've read that one.
You did a good job.
Kicked it out.
Very good job.
You want to, if you do join us, wow, I broke that bad though. If you do join us live, you can pop into our Discord. Matter of fact, you don't even have to join us live. You can pop into our Discord anytime. That community is always there and always part of, there's always people there around the world, 24/7, chatting it up. You can find that over at discord.phparch.com. And if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do that. Did I miss anything?
You have not.
All right. Good. Well, then let's say hello to the real reason everybody's here, Nuno.
What's up? What's up?
What's up, buddy?
Man, feels good to be here. Thank you for having me, man.
Oh, dude, it's great to have you. So it's no secret that, obviously Nuno just wasn't like waiting backstage the entire time. We jump on, and I was just telling him, I was like, I hate that part, that time, because like somebody like Nuno, who I don't get to talk to every day, I like, and I consider him a friend. Like, we usually say hi to each other at the conference and stuff. Like, I have so much I want to say to him, and I'm like, no, let's save it for the show. Let's save it for the show.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm a huge fan of our show, man. Your show is just. I still remember 10 years ago watching your show, man. Literally 10 years ago, it was called PHP Ugly back then, and I loved it, man. Awesome.
You want to know a fun fact? I don't know if this is actually true, but in my head, this is how I remember it. You're the first person to come up to me at a conference. We were at one of the Laracons, I forget. You're the first person to come up to me and says, hey, I enjoy your podcast. And I think I even said to you, I don't think I'm the person you think I am, because I thought you were looking for like Jeffrey Way or somebody. And you're like, no, PHP Ugly, right? I'm like, oh yeah, that is me. I can't remember what Laracon that was, but yeah, that was. I think you're the first person to come up to me and say something. And
I think it might have been New York, actually. It might have been New York.
That sounds right. That does sound right, actually. And I remember. So this is a trippy thing. So Nuno said something about this again while we were talking earlier, and I told him, I'm like, remember you said that. I remember that moment, and I remember you specifically because I remember thinking, your aura, your energy, your positivity just radiated from you. I mean, radiated? Is that right? Yeah, radiated. Like I didn't know who you were at the time. I don't think I don't know if you have been doing anything in the community yet or not, but I remember thinking, it's like, wow, that's the sort of person you want to be around. And that has never changed. Like, I can always see you in a crowd because you just have this aura about you. This
friendliness, positivity.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys are too nice, man. You're getting close right here. You guys are too nice.
So yeah, man. You came when are we gonna see you at another tech? You came and spoke at tech. Not this year, but
honestly,
year.
I loved that conference. Not only the conference itself, but also the place. I loved Chicago. It was a nice surprise to me. Also, the conference was good vibes too. Really looked like a bunch of friends. It looked like a bunch of you guys already know each other for years already too. But I managed to also find my own group of Laravel people there because there was a lot of Laravel people there. I want to go again. I don't know if it will be next year, but I will for sure be there again. PHP Tech, nice conference. I loved it.
Yeah, it's funny because I was actually looking up your name to see what seedy stuff I could find about you and ambush you with, and I actually came across a map you created when you're going to tech of places to go around Chicago that you shared with everybody. I'm like, oh man, this is cool. I even took a copy of it. I'm like, I'm gonna have to share that this year because you had a lot of great restaurants on there.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, every time I go to a conference, that's something I always do is that I make sure I visit the place. And Chicago was a nice surprise for some reason. I got this bad reputation about Chicago being dangerous. It was not, honestly. I walked alone for a bunch of times. It was just
it can't be because our president is sending troops there, can it?
Well, it was prior to that, I think. But,
no, I know.
But beautiful city, loved it.
That's actually one of my favorite parts about Laracons is it's always at a different place, and like there are places where like this year it was Colorado, and it's like I don't have anything against Colorado, and I was like Denver. I didn't have anything against it, and I wasn't avoiding it. I just never had a reason to go there, and it was nice. It's like, okay, now I have a reason to go and caught a baseball game and all that normal stuff. It was great.
I got the paraglide. It was awesome.
Wait, what? You went to the baseball game too? I also was there, I think.
You were there the same night. I didn't see until after the game was over.
I was with my wife. Literally, Taylor messaged me, can you look at the right? I look at the right. It was like Taylor, Abby, like all the entire family of the Otwells. That was so hilarious. Literally on the same row as me. I didn't even know.
John, you're trying to get something out.
Yeah, let's get the elephant out of the way here. Up in the upper left-hand corner of your screen, there's a win a ticket QR code. All it does is take you to our YouTube channel. Eric and I have an extra ticket to Longhorn PHP next week. If you're able to attend and you would like a chance to win the ticket, at the end of the show, we will draw a name at random. If there's anybody that enters, just comment on our YouTube video. And while you're there, hit the thumbs up button. Why not? Just comment something saying you want to be entered into the raffle.
See, that's going to be a horrible thing because like nobody's going to comment, John. It'd be like, okay,
it's possible because it's so last minute. I mean, you have to
last minute.
You either have to already be in Austin or able to get yourself to Austin next week.
Yeah, 100%.
So if nobody enters, and we will have an extra ticket.
We'll have to figure out another way to give it away, I guess. So Nuno,
there'll be a bum on the corner somewhere by there. Hey, you want some free food? Learn some PHP while you're at it.
Nuno, like I said, this isn't an interview podcast, but obviously we're going to ask you some questions, right? I mean, and we don't do the interviewing, but if you're in our Discord live and you wish to ask Nuno a question, please don't hesitate. Now's the time to do it. What was your PHP journey? Like, how did you get involved in, did you ever have like that aha moment where it's like, okay, because you're a very talented developer, very talented thinker. So the fact that you side on the side of PHP is fascinating to me because, normally people look down on PHP. Like people of your caliber would look down on PHP. What brought you here? And did you have like that aha moment where it's like, oh, okay, this is where I want to be?
I don't think if I have an interesting story on that, but what I do remember back in the days is that I was literally finishing master and I needed a language to literally do a website. And I remember picking PHP and just find PHP super easy to literally get things done. And this was literally CodeIgniter E2 times. Okay, probably I don't know. I would say 15 years ago, 12 years ago maybe. And picking E2 in CodeIgniter really felt easy for me. I could do pagination really quickly. I could put a website hosted in production really quickly too. So with time, I eventually finished master, and I found my first job just doing PHP too. And while doing PHP, and again, I don't know if everyone listening right now know me, but at the moment I am a PHP developer, a Laravel core team member too. And this passion for Laravel really started by just meeting Laravel people. I was in Paris, and I met a bunch of Laravel people, Dries Vins, Freek Mers, and many people like that, and eventually just become my group of friends. And when you have such a strong community, which we do on the PHP world, I don't know, looking at other languages, I cannot see strong communities like we do have on the PHP world. That is people that I know for more than 12 years already, which is insane. I think, Eric, I probably know you for 6-7 years at this point.
Yeah.
We say I every single year, which is crazy. And I was saying that I finished my master, find my first job doing PHP. I stayed there for 2 years. And after that, I went to Paris, more 2 years of PHP with Zen Framework, interestingly enough. And after
rough.
Not really. I actually find Zen Framework back then an easy framework to work with.
It was that the upgrade from 1 to 2 was
that was painful. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was with Zen Framework 1. Never actually worked with Zen Framework 2. So maybe that's why. I don't know. But after that, I actually went and spent like 2 years doing JavaScript professionally, and I found myself still doing PHP at night. So I was still doing Laravel stuff at night, and during the day I was doing TypeScript with all that complexity that we know that comes with the JavaScript world. And at some point I was like, all right, I'm done with this. I just want to do PHP all day. And at the time I also wanted to come back to Portugal because I was living in Paris, and Taylor Otwell was looking for someone at the exact moment. So we're talking about in 2020, and I applied for Laravel. And that was it. It's been 5 years since I have joined Laravel.
That's crazy. That's bonkers. I didn't even realize it had been that long.
That's flies, nuts. Man. Honestly, it just flies at time. It's crazy.
Now you were employee what, 2, 3?
I think I was number 3, either 3 or number 4.
Yeah.
So it was Mohamed Said, Dries Vins, and I think it was me or James joining Laravel at that given moment. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. That's
congrats.
So
it's good to stay at a place for a while. Like have that.
Yeah, now we are 90 people.
I know. I heard that insane. At Laracon. I just can't believe there's that many of you out there.
John told me that. I'm like, it couldn't have been 90. That doesn't sound right. That I talked about it on the show and everything. This Laracon this year was the first Laracon I'd gone to that I couldn't say I honestly knew everybody from the Laravel team. Like up until that point, you always knew, even when Taylor hired you, I was like, oh yeah, that makes complete sense, because you were part of the community, and now they're like people on the team's like, okay, who's this person? Like, am I supposed to? Are they a developer? Do I know them? So that was weird. That was a little jarring, to be honest. It's like, there's like, there are so many, people.
Yeah, but I'm going to be honest with you. We were needing it, because obviously like that first group of, let's say 6-10 people, it's talented people, but we were needing like other kind of talent too, design, marketing. We were needing like this kind of talent too, and we didn't have that. I remember, for example, when I was working at Laravel products, for example, I was the one writing the blog, I was the one designing the cover for the blog, I was the one making the video, kind of preparing the feature, conceptualizing the feature, actually developing the feature, do the design myself. So I was doing the entire story. And when you have a PHP developer, a backend PHP developer doing design, that won't work,
Right. Trust me, we
you
know.
may do you do the job, but probably it's not super accessible, for example, or it's probably like the responsiveness will not be just as perfect, as pixel perfect as someone who does design for a living. So now we have a bunch of talent, and we always had a bunch of ideas, and what we are doing with 90 people is just accelerating those ideas. That's why you got able to see Laravel Cloud in like 8 months, and Nightwatch in another 8 months too. It's just it's exciting, honestly. It's for me, it's exciting. I was kind of needing it, after 4 years at Laravel. This is like to spice things a little bit. But also the PHP ecosystem deserves this a little bit too, like a platform that can compete with Vercel, for example, or and also have this great marketing, which looks as appealing as some of the marketing we see in the JavaScript world too. And I don't know if it's part of the topic today, but when you see something like JavaScript, there is a reason why JavaScript conquered so many young kids. And that reason is because they invested hardcore on marketing, making the language entertaining, making a bunch of tutorials, having influencers talking about JavaScript too. For all of that, you need money, and if you don't have money, you have these old people doing PHP, but the younger generation, they just don't pick PHP by itself, and that's what we need actually. It's just
so how do we make PHP sexy for the younger generation? How do we I feel like we need to help with that. Start creating videos, start putting it out there. Like you said, get good tutorials created.
Yeah,
I mean, I think
that's what
that's Laravel's kind of doing that, right? I mean, Laravel.
Yeah, Laravel, but also I feel like people like you guys and me as well. Like we are a big part. I talked with this with Povilas too. We are like big part of this story of, we need to make this kind of content very entertaining. You guys have been doing this for 10 years. I started this year only, but we need to make this content entertaining. We need to make this content fast paced. The kids these days, they don't watch like a boring video of 60 minutes. I don't know if you guys have family or not, but you guys know how kids are. They just watch for 3 seconds. And if you don't have something that will make them hooked to the video, you just scroll it, So that to be said that, we content creators like you guys, we are big on this story of making PHP sexy again. And that's what I've been trying to do on my channel as well.
Yeah. Well, thanks. Thanks for lumping us in on that. I never thought of it, but let's take a quick break. Let's get Honeybadger out of the way. Say a big thank you to Honeybadger one more time, and we'll carry on.
When your app breaks in production, you want to quickly understand and fix it, not sift through logs for the next hour. That's where Honeybadger comes in. Honeybadger notifies you of errors, outages, and performance issues as they occur and helps you respond instantly when your systems go down. When you need to dig deeper, Honeybadger's advanced query engine helps you reach into your logs and grab just the information you need. With error tracking, performance and uptime monitoring, log management, and support for over 10 languages, Honeybadger is the best tool to gain real-time insights into your application's health and performance. Best of all, it's free to get started, and setup takes less than 5 minutes. Be sure to bookmark honeybadger.io. That's www.honeybadger.io.
Thank you, Honeybadger.
Honeybadger.
So, go ahead.
Now, I was going to derail and go to a different direction.
Yeah, me too. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I have an ethical dilemma question for you guys.
Lay it on me.
Love to hear your opinion on it. Let's say you have a client that's paying you hourly. All right. You get woken up at 6 a.m. You get paged for something ridiculous. It's not a real issue, but you got woken up. You acknowledge it and you lay back down, trying to go back to sleep. And you can't fall asleep because all you're thinking about is how to make this notification better so you don't get paged at 6 a.m. when you shouldn't be paged. You're paid hourly. Do you take that time that you spent thinking about a solution? This is hypothetical. This hasn't happened to me.
No,
not at all.
Ahead. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, just educational purpose.
But you're laying in bed. You work through the entire scope of the project of how to make this monitoring better, so that this doesn't happen to other people that are on call. So that when you go and actually sit down to actually implement it, you've already spent all this time thinking about the solution.
Mm-hmm.
Is that billable time while you're in bed? Or is billable time only when you're sitting in front of your keyboard?
So this is my problem in general with the hourly model. The other side of that coin is there's your notification problem. You get alerted at 6 a.m. You get up, it's a 15-minute fix. 2 days later, the same problem happens. Another developer gets on. It takes them 5 hours to fix it, right? It's like, well, should you have billed for 5 hours? Because you were able to get it done in 15 minutes, but they're getting paid for 5 hours now. So, yeah, in general, the billable model doesn't work. So I'm like, if you're working on a problem, whether you're typing on the keyboard or not, if they benefit from it, it's billable to me. We don't have a billable model, so nobody who's thinking about doing business with us needs to think, oh, well, I'm not doing business with them, because we specifically don't implement a billable model. That's why we have the retainer model, because the billable model doesn't work. Our bill, at least that's my opinion, and I'm always right. So, thoughts, Nuno?
I don't even know if I have an opinion on this. Like, all my life, I've worked as a contractor, and I just charge per day. And I never have been on call until today. So I don't even know.
Wait, until today? You're on call today?
No. I have never been on call ever.
You never even thought about it until today. Somebody mentioned it.
So I don't even know.
So what do you mean you bill per day? So when you've had contracts in the past, you just say, if I work on your project today, I'm billing you a full day?
Well, as a Portuguese who works in Europe, I'm obligated to have my own company, and the way it works is that I charge my customers per day, and that's it. Yeah. So I have 8 hours period per that day, and that's it.
So kind of like a billable model. I mean, kind of like a not retainer model, but
kind of, because they're retaining them for the full day.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. But it's also like my life has been simplified because I only have one client per time, and that client takes 40 hours, 5 days a week. That's it.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Makes sense.
Okay. Let me see. What do I want to talk about? First thing, for the record, I'm known for this. JavaScript is the bane of my existence. I don't understand why people gravitate to it so quickly. It seems like PHP back in like the 2000 time, right? Like it's just like it's broken, it's put together, but it's broken. Don't even get me started on Node and all the dependencies and all that. It's like I don't get it. And today, so we have a mobile developer that develops in a JavaScript framework, Ionic, and we spent a good amount of day today trying to figure out this problem with a client, and I was just so ready. This is why native PHP mobile needs to succeed, because I need to get that in production. But I was so ready to blame JavaScript for it, and it looked like I had it, but at the very end, the last minute, it wasn't a JavaScript issue. It was actually a SQL issue in how data was being pulled out of the it was a SQLite, but it was a database nonetheless, and how data was getting pulled out. But it's just so in my head, like even walking through the code with the developer who works on it, it's challenging. It's like it just seems broken. It's like, okay, how do you get this spot? It's like, well, I'm not really sure. We have to try to figure this out. It's like, all right, this is there's something wrong. It's got to be here.
Was this in the original app, the one that he hasn't worked on much?
Yeah. Well,
sounds like there's a story here.
There's a story we'll have to talk about, but yeah. So yeah, I am majorly. This is the first thing. This is why I got on the Livewire bandwagon so early, because I'm like, wait a minute. Like, I can do this stuff in PHP now, and I don't have to try to figure out how to get Vue or React or something running in conjunction with Laravel. I was like, yeah, why would I learn another language? I already know PHP. Let me just do it in PHP. So I love Livewire for that. I use it to this day. And then, Shane and Simon, they come up last year with native PHP mobile. I'm like, get out of here! Like, we're gonna turn into a mobile shop any day now. I can feel it. I want to.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like PHP developers, we are like a little bit biased towards stability and towards clean code a little bit, because we organize files in every single file ever. Only one class, for example, which is not the case of JavaScript. Sometimes we have multiple concerns in the same file.
Yeah.
But in general,
multiple files for a single concern, it seems like.
But I feel like, looking at the JavaScript ecosystem a little bit, something that, if we were to receive a new package manager, for example, in the PHP world, we would be skeptic. New package manager, Composer works so good, like, why we need this? Maybe I will give it like 3 years, and then I will look again into this to see if it's actually stable before I even try it. And the JavaScript mentality is the other way around, which is, it's new, so I'm going to use it. I don't really care what it brings, I want to be in the edge of technology, so I'm going to just jump into it. And you can see that. Like, that's why, they have, like, I don't know how many package managers they do have at the moment already, but it's like
and
NPM,
all the build,
and NPM
build systems, right?
Plus the build system, Webpack, Vite.
They change constantly.
Yeah, they do. So having a build system for itself is already like, for me, it's like, why, but I do understand why, but I feel like some of the features they have added to TypeScript, but also to other supersets, they probably should have been in JavaScript to begin with, like in PHP, for example, we move slowly but surely. Like, when we see types and new features coming, they come every year, slowly, without compromising stability, for example. It's kind of easy to embrace. That's why we are always excited about new PHP versions. It's because we know what's coming is good. It won't affect any app. You can just upgrade and it will just work. I cannot remember the last time I have upgraded PHP and it broke my code.
Right.
Yeah.
That's been a huge milestone for
right?
us as developers. Yeah.
Well, there's also the fact that we're staying on top of it, and two, with the deprecations the way they are, and we're looking forward to it, being able to stay on top of those things is so much easier today.
Right. But also feels like they are super mindful about deprecations. Like, when was the last time I was using deprecated code? I feel it never happened, really, because I feel what the stuff that gets deprecated, it's literally stuff from 15 years ago that I never used myself,
Yeah.
So, that is that. I really, I'm going to be honest, man. I really like the work the PHP internals team are doing, or have been doing forever, really. Because I never got concerned about any update on PHP. Really just works. Plus, the language gets faster every year. The new features coming, they are always like good stuff. I remember enums, property promotion. That's why I'm so passionate about PHP, because I feel like a lot of people don't really see. Well, it's not like they don't see. It's like, a little bit like us. We like PHP. We don't look at other stuff because we are good in in our own bubble, in our own space. And probably, the people who are doing JavaScript, they just, they are happy there. And for that reason, they don't look at PHP. But there is no step in PHP.
Gotcha.
I was going to say, it also feels like a lot of the camps that kids or young people are going through to learn programming, they're learning Python or JavaScript. They're not learning PHP.
100%. I always wonder about how many good developers PHP lost back in the PHP 5 days, when it just seemed like the the language had gotten stale. It wasn't innovating
Yeah.
anymore. It wasn't moving forward. There was
Yeah.
nothing that was like mind blowing about it anymore. And how many really good developers abandoned ship at that point because it's like, oh yeah, I need to move on. I need to move to something that's moving forward, because like it is very rare you come across a developer of any language who doesn't a developer of any language who doesn't say, oh yeah, I did some PHP work when I started programming. It's like, yeah, everybody has, right? So why didn't it stick? And I think PHP 5 just kind of lost a lot of developers at that point. So yeah, that conversation you have of, oh yeah, you should never use PHP, it's a terrible language. It's like, yeah, you have not touched PHP in the last 10 years, have you?
Yeah.
Because it's a completely different language than what it used to be.
Yeah, that's something like I wish, and I kind of, I think it's the goal of the new PHP website that the PHP Foundation is working on. At least they are putting out like, something so people can design a new website for the PHP website, which currently is super outdated. But what I wish they put on that website, it's kind of highlighting the ecosystem, things like PHP Stand, things like PHP Unit and Past, things like Laravel and Symfony, really highlight that, all right, if you are starting PHP today, you don't do $_post anymore,
Right.
That's the thing people don't do anymore. They go through, Symfony and Laravel. Then for type safety, they use PHP Stand. Then for tests, they use PHP Unit or Past. For linting, they use whatever. So, it's kind of the main difference today between PHP and something like Go on Rust. Like Go on Rust today, you start the language, you immediately have a linter, a testing, like it just comes built in on those languages. Where with PHP, you kind of have to put a little bit some of this ecosystem packages from the community to be able to get the same experience you have with Go and Rust. But you also need to be a little bit experiment, like a senior developer, to be able to know how to install these tools, how to make them defensive and strict, and that's what I try to kind of do on my channel, is like always pitch PHP on this perspective. And honestly, the reactions like on platforms like TikTok is like, wait, what? PHP has types? PHP is like asynchronous? There is like a web framework. I thought it was only WordPress and Drupal. No. There is like actually cool stuff here too. And hopefully, like, that's why I was talking about the marketing strategy of JavaScript was so important back in the days, because as you said, John, these boot camps, man, they just fill their ads with JavaScript, and that's the only thing exists for them.
100%. All right, you shared. Let's talk about this for a moment. Am I sharing this? Boom and boom. So PHP Storm released their latest, the State of PHP 2025. John, did you get a chance to look at this?
I have not.
So right off the bat, interesting here. What country or region do you currently reside in? Look at Japan. Like, hasn't the US, isn't the US typically at the top there? Like, Japan is just on fire. Matter of fact, they're so on fire. This is something else I wouldn't mind asking about. Let me pull that up. They're having their first Laracon, I think. I don't know if it's like a blessed Laracon or not, but they're having their first Laravel conference in Japan. And
so that's a Laravel Live conference, which is
yeah. So I was a little confused by the title, because the Laravel Live I associate to that global user group. So when I saw that, I'm like, okay, is this just like a user group meetup or something? But I guess it's a conference. Do you know anything more about this?
So what I do know is that typically Laracons are conferences that hold 1,000 people. Laracon India, Laracon EU, Laracon US, and always like 1,000 people on those conferences. Laravel Live is like towards like 400 people, 500 people tops. So it's like it's typically like countries, they transition from Laravel Live to Laracons if they become big enough.
Gotcha.
So this is the first attempt of doing a conference there. They're just starting small, not immediately with 1,000 people. because they need to know, the place. You need to know like how it actually will work out for 300 people before jumping into something bigger than that. So what we know is that we actually have developed a PHP meetup in Japan, which is something also that Laravel marketing team is like embracing a little bit, is putting these seeds of PHPX. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but we have a bunch of PHPX meetups like in more than 20 countries. So we can put these seeds. So maybe those will transition to something like Laravel Lives, which is the case in Japan, because we had the PHPX Japan meetup in Tokyo. That was like 100 people, just like that. Bam. And that's why we are investing heavily now on Laravel Live Japan. And I want to go this. I'm going to go to this 100%. I always wanted to go to Japan. So not sure if it's a speaker or an attendee, but I will be there 1,000% sure.
You see the dates of that?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it's right with us. So, yeah, as a matter of fact,
the week after us.
Yeah.
Where did you professionals?
Speaking of that, in everything Laravel's doing for meetups, we got our Laravel user group care package.
Here we go.
So the next PHPX San Diego, there's going to be some Laravel swag to give away, especially if you're speaking. So I know what's in this box. I've already looked, and there's something that you're only going to get if you do a presentation. That's the rule. There's something else that everybody else can have, but you have to do a presentation to get the good stuff, the good swag.
Well, looks like I'm getting the good swag.
All right, cool. Well, that was exciting to hear. Yeah, I saw that. You always get like a little cautious of, okay, is this like a? I mean, I don't know if the word sanction is correct, but like you want to kind of be reassured that it's not just somebody just deciding to do it. And then you see Taylor kind of acknowledge the conference. It's like, okay, all right, Taylor knows about it. This is good, So that's good. What? I guess before I scroll through this too much, is there anything shocking on here that you want to jump to, or you just want to like go through everything?
I think like the interesting parts of this survey are the web frameworks stats, also the testing stats, and the tool stats, which are the better. So you just continue to pass through this, because this first part is about like how many years of experience do you have and blah blah blah, kind of the boring stuff. But if you go a little bit all the way down,
language adopted in usage, yeah.
I don't even care
it's
about
nice
that.
It's nice to see 89% of people in 2025 are on PHP 8.
Yeah, did I pass that one already?
No, it's further down.
Oh, okay. That's the one I wanted to get to. It's like, that movement has been insane, right?
Keep going.
This is kind of like, I don't know how to really I don't really know how to interpret this one. How long have you been using PHP? But
yeah, I think like the what do I think about this?
I think you want to see the less than 6 months means new people are coming in if that number's going up.
Right.
That's a good way to look at this. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's smart.
Yeah. That's actually a great way to look at this. I was looking at this. I'm like, yeah. I mean, this jump and this 2-year jump from 12% for 2 years to 72% more than 4 years. Well, I guess it's more than 4 years, right?
Yeah, because you got us that have been doing it for 20 some years.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
I was reading too much into that, I guess. All right, here's the big one.
Yeah.
What version of PHP do you regularly use? This is encouraging to see. So as of 2025, according to the survey, 89% of the responders are on PHP 8. 33 are still on PHP 7, and you still have 8% that are on PHP 5 or older. That is such a massive difference from the adoption rate you used to see. This is so encouraging to see.
I'm worried about the 5% that are not sure. Like, what does that mean? How are you not sure what you're running?
And what is other? Like, what if you're on 5.6 or older? Like, what would other be? I'm a little worried about that.
The few people that installed PHP 6, because it was a thing.
Yeah, for a hot minute. All right, let's talk about frameworks and CMSs. Which framework or CMS do you regularly use? I don't think anybody here is surprised. It's Laravel.
Well, I'm a little bit surprised by the WordPress number, though.
Me too.
Because it's literally growing up. I mean, I think we all know that WordPress is easy to use. However, the people who use WordPress typically they just want a landing page or a simple blog, which you can achieve that now with app builders like V0 and Lovable and things like that. Still, WordPress growing is surprising.
Yeah. I kind of agree with you there.
I wonder if that's also misinterpreted, because when you say, do you regularly use, is like we have WordPress sites out there. So if I were answering this question, just because I have a site out there, does that mean I regularly use it? It's not.
Good point.
It's not a tool I reach for, but we have them.
And this is also one of those. You got to think about the audience. These are people responding to JetBrains. And I just don't know how many WordPress developers use something like PHP Storm.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an interesting one.
Something I often mention within the Laravel team too is that people who often have time to answer surveys, but also to be on podcasts, but also especially to be on Twitter, they are people who live on the edge. People who are on the latest technologies. They care about how PHP is. But then there is the other side of the cake, which is like 80% of the people who have 9-to-5 jobs. They don't really check Twitter anymore. They don't care about like if they are using the latest or the greatest. They just do their jobs, And I feel it is way more people that doing Drupal, for example, in Magento, in WordPress that probably should have been on these stats, but they are not.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
We know, right? We know that like 70% of the web is like WordPress or whatever. So.
Yeah,
WordPress
is a huge. That PHP runs 80% of the web or whatever the number is today. A massive chunk of that is WordPress, right? I mean, that's just the reality. I'm more curious. What do you think happened here? So we're looking at the Laravel 2020. 50% of the responders said that they use on a regular basis Laravel. 2021, 67%. And then 2022 down to 58%. Do you think this was just like some weird year of a bunch of Laravel people decided to take this survey in 2021?
Yeah, probably got retweeted more by Laravel folks, and that got a little bit
that's
of a bump
good
there.
Point. Yeah,
I don't know. Just I do feel that is increasing adoption on Laravel in general, meaning that if you are starting on PHP. I think you are going for Laravel or Symfony or at least these modern frameworks. So there is definitely a bigger adoption of Laravel and Symfony for sure. I don't think that number, the 67 at least, represents anything really.
Yeah. Okay. I kind of agree with you. And I think you nailed it. I bet you this was a year where, either Taylor or Jeffrey Way or somebody big in the Laravel community said, hey, this survey's out there, go take it. And everybody just jumped on board and started taking it. So that's probably the best. Because everything, all the numbers across this board are pretty steady for just about everything. I mean, they're either steadily going up or steadily coming down. And then there's this one like anomaly with Laravel where it just shoots up 17%, then drops back down 9%. It's like, wow, that was weird.
I think frameworks like CodeIgniter and E, and even Cake PHP a little bit, are kind of facing a little bit the faith of, for example, the E framework, I think they are missing on the E3 release for already like 3-4 years. So I think that is probably moving the community towards other solutions. CodeIgniter is kind of being loyal and stable to the audience, but probably are not keeping up with the latest stuff a little bit. But definitely like Drupal and Magento, those numbers are wrong because those are like huge communities. There is huge conferences for those people as well.
Very true. And I will say, I mean, pretty much everything on this list. Well, see, how can I word this best? One of the strong things I think Taylor always did with the Laravel community is appeal to new developers, new PHP developers, and try to find what their pain points were and make Laravel more appealing. I think when you get down to like Yi and Cake, like these are old established frameworks that are still moving forward, that they're still innovating, but like the community is established. Like these people, they don't actively try to pull in new developers. Like I think Laravel has always, whether consciously or unconsciously, they always seem to attract the new PHP developer. And these other kind of communities are just kind of like, yeah, we're established. This is how we do it. You know, whatever. If you want to try it, sort of thing. Whereas Laravel's much more encouraging. That's just my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a paid promotion for Laravel, but I do like Nuno. Oh, there's even a quote from Taylor right there. Yeah. Boost. Oh, let's talk about. We got to talk about AI before we run too long here.
It's also an interesting. The AI is also an interesting topic too, because I feel like the frameworks that adopt better working with AI, they will leverage adoption even more. Like if you have really good documentation that can be searched by AI tools, for example, those AI tools will work better with generating code for those frameworks. So, that's why we have Laravel Boost, for example, and now an MCP package that I have developed with Ashley. Because we really want Cloud Code. I don't know if you have seen Cloud Code generating Laravel code, but it's just...
Oh, you kidding me? My new Cloud Code prompt, and this is a real prompt. I said, fuck it, turn this into a Laravel app. So we have a client that has a mobile app we talked about, and we were trying to think of a better way to distribute the app because the way they were doing it was a little archaic. It's Android based, so we don't have to go through Apple's Play Store, and it can be side-loaded, but it wasn't a good experience. So we've been talking about going through Google Play, and after doing some research, we kind of discovered you sort of have to go through Google Play now, regardless, starting next year, because they still have to verify the package. They're not going to let anybody just side-load anymore. You have to have a verified package sort of thing. But we were playing around with the idea of hosting kind of our own mini store for this client and just that client's customers, because we didn't really want it out there for the public for people just to discover. Not that it's bad. It's just like it's not an app anybody would use. And so we found this solution that was this old. I downloaded it. I was trying to get it to run. It was kind of broken. It was JavaScript, and I'm like, it's not working. And that's exactly what I told Cloud Code to do. I'm like, turn this into a Laravel app. And by the end of the day, I had a fully functional version of it in Laravel. And Cloud Code first, awesome. My favorite AI to date is Cloud Code.
Yeah, same.
Second thing, prompt. And like you said, the MCP stuff and everything that Laravel's done to be more compatible with AI just makes it just effortless to use it now. I have to applaud Ashley. I'm trying to arrange a podcast with Ashley right now, but I have to applaud him and everybody else. I guess you as well. Everybody else who worked on that, because that's just really changed the game with AI in Laravel specifically. So good job, guys. PHP developer environments. I never liked this one because, it's a JetBrains survey.
What do you guys use?
PHPScore.
Yeah. I'm either if it's quick, I'm usually Vim in it or in Vim in it. But if I'm doing a big project, I've kind of gone back to Storm. I still use the Vim bindings, but
our position has always been, if you're a professional PHP developer making money from PHP, you should be using professional tools like PHPStorm.
Yeah.
If you're a hobbyist just getting into it, use VS Code or something free. But PHP Storm 1 is always on top of the latest and greatest. And they contribute to the PHP Foundation. Like the biggest contributor to the PHP Foundation, they started it.
Yeah.
Let's give back to the PHP community, even if it's through PHP Storm.
Well, and it's more than just giving back. I mean, they're an established part of that whole life cycle. I mean, they have developers who are contributing to core, and it's just I forget JetBrains are known for other IDEs, especially Python, like the Python IDE.
PyCharm.
Yeah, people love that thing. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot they make that. That's what I want to say. I want to see how much of what's the percentage of JetBrains existence from PHP Storm, because I feel like over the years it has to have grown. And if it's not the number one IDE that they supply, it's got to be like 2 or 3. I mean, I can't even imagine it being 3.
Yeah.
Like PyCharm, maybe the web one, the general web one, but who else?
Yeah, I would just add two things on top of what John F said. So if you are trying PHP Storm as a student, it's for free as well. And if you are a content creator and you want to do stuff with PHP Storm, you can just stream your editor for free too. But I would just say what John said. Like for PHP development, for professional PHP development, there is no other thing than PHP Storm at the moment. I use PHP Storm myself. I was a heavy Sublime Text user for years, actually, which is not even on this list. However, I do think these stats are wrong, though. VS Code, well, maybe they're not wrong, but there is a bunch of VS Code forks at the moment that are popular. Well, let's just say there is a lot of editors on top of VS Code at the moment that are popular as well.
Isn't Cursor on top of VS Code?
It is, yeah. And I think one of the biggest... I talk with the JetBrains team often because we work sometimes together. And I told them, like, you guys just took too much time adopting AI on the PHP Storm. So you just literally gave 1 year ahead or to Cursor to have people trying Cursor for 1 year, because they took a bunch of time to have Junie on PHP Storm. And Junie is still... I think now they have Cloud Code support too on Junie, which is good. Yeah. But for more than 12 months, the AI experience of PHP Storm was not really there when compared with Cursor, for example. But now they catch up, and I think, as you said, John, like they are supporting the PHP Foundation. Before that, they were supporting Nikita Popov, one of the core members of, which is not anymore, but it was the guy literally developing PHP himself. And every time I can, I just help PHP Storm and JetBrains. They're awesome. They also sponsors of my channel too. I love PHP Storm. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. Again, not a paid partner, but they should consider partnering with us. We'd love to run ads for them. How satisfied or dissatisfied are you with your current primary IDE? Again, it says your current primary IDE, but it's just tracking VS Code and PHP Storm, and I mean everybody's pretty satisfied with them. There's only a few on both sides. You got less than 10% who are anything lower than neither satisfied nor dissatisfied.
I think you can jump to the debugging and testing. That's an interesting one. So you just go 2 down. Yeah.
Are you on here?
Yeah, go a little bit up, please. Just a little bit to see what is before that. Okay, yeah, that doesn't matter. Go down.
Keep it on.
So this is an interesting one. I actually want to ask you guys, what do you guys use for debugging? Do you use Xdebug, or you use something like DD, for example?
Xdebug. I'm an Xdebug person. Unless I'm in production, and then var dump and exit or whatever I need to do to debug something quick. For a little while there, I was using Xdebug Cloud. For the client I work on, we had a production server that wasn't used. We pointed a specific domain that only hit that one server, so I could fire up Xdebug Cloud, But we haven't done that in years at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if I'm troubleshooting a very complex issue, I'll reach for X debug where I want to set breakpoints and kind of walk through things. But most of the time, like I'm just trying to figure out what my state is at a particular point in the app, and I'll just DD it and see where we're at. And yeah, that's probably 90% of my debugging is DD, and then I'll reach for X debug.
I live in Xdebug. It's always running on I'm in my PHP Storm.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting to know. All right. What about you?
DD, 100% DD. Yeah.
So you're not even a is it Raycast or Ray?
Ray from Freakmoors? Yeah, never from Spazi actually. Yeah. Never got into it. So maybe a little bit when it got first launched.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason I just always use DD. I'm fast debugging with DD, like in theory you may think, well, but you would be faster with Xdebug because you can set the breakpoints, you can jump and see the variables in runtime, XYZ.
Dive in.
But I'm still like, I can guarantee you, man, maybe not. We should do a speed run, John, debugging some code, and you would use Xdebug and I would use DD and see who got like the solution faster. Well, now we don't need that. We can just use Cloud Code, but
I was a print R guy forever. Print R exit done. I mean, I know that's basically what DD is doing, right?
I gotta tell you, be careful challenging John at debugging something. That is one of the talents this guy has.
He's fast. Okay.
Oh, he is very. And it's not. I mean, it's the tools I guess he uses too, but the way he thinks about the code, like he's written enough bad code where he knows he knows where to look for stuff.
It's funny because it's true.
Yeah, he's. So I'm more than a user of PHP. I am a fan of PHP and PHP developers. And so if a PHP developer is particularly good at something, I will sit there and watch them for hours do it. And that's kind of how I am with John and debugging. It's like I could sit there and watch John debug something for literally an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, and be, I don't know if entertained is the word, but engaged. Like it will keep my attention. So yeah, John's a fantastic debugger.
Oh, thanks.
We're good.
Just saying that the developer of Xdebug is now, which is Eric, which is a lovely person. He's now on the core team of PHP 2, right?
Well, he's always been core. I think he's he's been core for a long time. He's not. Okay. I don't think he's PHP Foundation because I don't even know anymore. I can't keep track.
I think it is. I think he may have been core forever, but maybe like because it was not because it was not formalized, basically. Maybe I didn't know. So I know he developed like the date extension, I think, and now is maybe more involved.
Yeah, he is on there as a core developer.
Yeah.
Oh, yep. Okay.
Foundation.
Yep, on the foundation.
Oh, that's good. Good to see. I assume you've met him a couple times,
Yeah, I've been with him at PHP UK, but also in PHP Tech.
Yeah,
he's lovely. I love hanging out with him. He's awesome.
He was one of those guys. Again, the first time I went to, so PHP conferences threw me for a loop because I came from like big business sort of conferences. So I'd gone to like IBM's conferences and Oracle's conferences and didn't care for them. Like, because I'm a developer, I like getting stuff done, and they just seem like glitz and glamour, and everybody was there to get stuff and get free dinners. And I'm like, okay, what are we doing here? Like, this doesn't seem like, it's definitely not a community. It's definitely not like, I just had a hard time appreciating it. And I worked for a pretty significant company, so like IBM would like come after us and treat us to all this cool stuff. And I'm not knocking it. Like, I'm not saying it was a hardship, but it just didn't seem like I didn't understand what people were getting out of it. And so many people going like weren't even developers. They were like managers. And so they were just like trying to sell a product basically. So when John was actually was the one that kept talking to me about PHP conferences, I'm like, yeah, not really a conference person. Like I really don't see, what they are. And then he finally got me to a tech, and I'm like, okay, this is different. I think Derek was one of those people. I was like, wait a minute, that's the guy that created Xdebug? Or
Crazy.
yeah. I'm like, that's him. And yeah, it was absolutely nuts. Like to find out the people, and obviously we want people to come to tech. We do our best to bring people from all different areas of PHP at tech. But if you can get to a conference, just not only go, but socialize, talk to people, because it will blow your mind who's sitting next to you at lunch. You know, it's just crazy. Been a fan ever since. I liked it so much, I bought the company. Oh, look, wait, who's this sexy guy? Oh, by the way, Nuno, my God, getting buff, dude. I see your gym pictures, and man, you are like looking lean and mean.
Thank you. Yeah, I spent before this, I spent like a year recovering from a knee surgery, but that's why now I'm getting into the gym hardcore again and getting good. I like it.
I'm still working on my before body. I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get working on it at some point, but I'm trying to get a good round before body picture. Okay, which testing framework do you regularly use? Look at that. So obviously, number one, PHP unit. I think that makes sense, and there are other things that are developed on top of PHP unit, and I believe PES is still one of those, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Purposely. Yeah, intentionally.
So what's painful
I do want to bring something about PES about your show, though, in a second.
Okay. What's painful here? So 50%, as of 2025, 50% of the people are using PHP unit. Okay, whatever. 17% are using PES, which I'm actually surprised about. I thought that number would be higher, and I think it's going to skyrocket with
especially with the percentage of people saying they use Laravel.
The chef kiss on PES 4,
Thank you.
That browser testing. Oh my God, that blew me away.
Yeah, these stats are prior to browser testing in PES 4, by the way. So that's
why I'm saying this is going to skyrocket next year. I can almost guarantee you that'll skyrocket. But what's terrifying about that? So PHP units 50%, PES is 17%. I don't write test code. It's in the middle of those two at 32%. It's like, wait, more people don't write test code than use PES? I mean, come on. I mean, I don't write test code, but I'm different. I'm a great developer who don't need tests. But no, that was kind of surprising. So great work on PES. What do you want to say about PES? I want to hear.
Yeah, a couple of things here. Like looking at this stats. So one of them is that these stats were made prior to PES 4. I don't think it would increase the percentage much more, but I think over time, I think browser testing is actually one of 10 features that we are bringing, that we have on PES that doesn't exist on PHP unit, that literally makes PES a compelling choice. PES always had things that PHP unit didn't have. Things like architectural testing or profanity checking and a few other things. But like browser testing is really something like, holy shit, I kind of have to use this to be able to test my front end code. Just to say as well that 70% of people who are using PES, they're also using PHP unit because it's what it runs under the hood. And also like huge props to Sebastian, man. You guys, like, Sebastian is such a nice person. We always had like a great relation since the very early days of PES. And PES is kind of competing with PHP unit, but it's funny because he came to me like, what can we do more in PHP unit so PES can be more compatible even, or so you don't have to maintain that much code or whatever. And he actually, during one of those releases of PHP unit, he made this event system, which made my life way easier with PES PHP too. And also interesting, like we're talking about JavaScript, I can guarantee you that if this were to be a JavaScript graph, and this was called GS unit, and instead of PES being called a jest or whatever, that option would have been way faster. Because it's new and whatever, and people would just jump into it. Go ahead.
I got a question for you. Does Pest work outside of Laravel?
He does.
Or is
yeah.
it? Okay. Then maybe
Really?
need to
I
take a
didn't
look
know
at it.
that.
Yeah, it does. It just works just like PHP Unit works with any PHP code. Yeah.
Oh, you need to market that more, man. I never knew that. That's
Ah,
amazing.
man, I talk often about that, but because Past only gets mentioned in Laravel tutorials and also Laravel documentation, and also like if you go to the Past website, you see Laravel examples too. People just get that perspective. I don't think it would increase the stats much more, though. People who don't do Laravel or Symfony, they typically don't write tests anyway. I think.
Well, with the browser testing now, because the app I work on does both PHP Unit, Codeception, Behat. So we have a little bit of all of it going on. And the Codeception and Behat tests are far lacking. And we have a team dedicated trying to increase those tests. But if we could get the same thing from Pest and cleaner, and like he said, when we saw the demo at Laracon, no brainer.
Yeah, John and I
So
looked
now
at each other.
I gotta see if I can bring that into our app.
Yeah, we saw that with the browser pieces. Like John and I looked at each other. I'm like, yeah, that's because we've needed that, and yeah, that was fantastic. So I do want to say, I interviewed Sebastian years ago. I think not too long after you created Pest, and asked him.
He said such bad things about you. It was weird.
I said, how do you feel about Pest and a tool being built on top of PHP Unit? And he goes, I love it. He goes, this is great.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Awesome.
you support it? He goes, I support anything that has developers test their code. He's like, it's fantastic. He is a great guy. I did enjoy speaking with him.
He went to Laracon EU too, and I loved it. Honestly, I purposely didn't even wanted to go to that Laracon, so we would have the stage to talk about testing, and only him, So he went to a Laracon, talked about PHP Unit, and there is like a lot of love for PHP Unit in the Laravel community. I think like probably today there is like a 50-50 or a 60-40, but a lot of people love PHP Unit. Within Laravel, all of us are using Past PHP at the moment on the Laravel projects, but pretty sure a lot of people, 50% of the Laravel community are still using PHP Unit and they love it. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter if you test your app is the most important thing, I think. And there is other options too, right? Codeception, Behat, PHP Spec. Those are options that I'm going to be honest, I never tried them ever because I was happy with PHP Unit until I have them passed.
But they do different things, right? So Codeception is more on the browser testing side. So you're probably using, like I am, PHP Unit and Codeception.
Behat was the storyboarding one, right? Is that the one that I really try to get behind Behat because I thought that Behat was approachable for non-developers. I was like trying to work with clients to say, okay, you're going to rate the test. Rate a storyboard, and that will become the test. And it just never took. But yeah, yep.
The story about Past that I wanted to bring is that so back in the days when I was a kid, so we're talking about 10 years ago, I did like a POC of Past, and someone did not someone. Okay, I remember now. So I did the POC of Past, and Taylor contacted me and said, "Dude, I think you should do a pull request to make it default on Laravel, which is the case right now, but." Back in the days it was not stable in XYZ. And I said, are you sure? I don't think it's still the right moment, XYZ, because it's still not stable. And he said, still do it. I want to see what the community thinks about it in XYZ. And then I did a pull request, not convinced it was a good idea, but I did it. And then I watched your show, and you guys were like, what the guy was even thinking? Who the hell you think it is? Like
who's this jerk?
Like just develop a library and it's just already trying to have it on Laravel. Who do you think he is? No. And I was like, oh my god! Like I didn't even want it to begin with. Like
that sounds just like John.
It does. That's me.
Oh my god. Anyways, And I was like sad because I was a big fan of the show, and then I was like,
that's when he stopped
oh.
watching.
No, it's fine. But
I've always said the badge of honor that I have deemed upon myself is I am a fair critic. I'm a Laravel fan who's critical of the framework when it needs to be. Like I do feel like, and I do feel like Laravel suffers a little bit from like the Apple syndrome, where people are just excited at anything. Nightwatch was like that. Like maybe I wasn't following Taylor or the Laravel community as closely as I thought on the social media platforms, but like Taylor says, I have one more thing to announce, Nightwatch, and people start screaming. I'm like, why are we excited? Like, what the hell is Nightwatch? Like, everybody's excited about it. He hasn't even said what it was yet.
Isn't that cool, man? I think it's cool.
So I feel like, I definitely.
Yeah, if you're working for the company, it's cool. I'm sure people at Apple love it.
Yeah.
So I think like that probably have happened because Taylor was kind of teasing that we were developing something, and people were not sure if Taylor was planning on talking about it. So people got, folk, they will talk about that a little bit as well. And a funny story about that is that once, I don't know if you guys remember, but at some point Taylor was developing Laravel Vapor, and he started teasing Laravel Vapor, and he did the opposite, he did the opposite, which is he actually opened the Laravel Vapor landing page on a browser. He went there and he said, and this is Laravel Vapor, and he closed the presentation. He didn't talk about anything about Laravel Vapor on that conference. So that's the way it works, So at least people got to see what is Nightwatch.
Do you get people who I mean, you're definitely big enough in the community, right? Do you get people who are starstruck to meet you?
Like what? Sorry?
Starstruck, like I don't know how to explain starstruck. Like, just what starstruck means? Like,
yeah,
like you're meeting somebody famous, and somebody you've idolized, and you're meeting him in person. Do you have
people walk up to you and be like, so excited to be meeting you?
I can't believe I'm touching Nuno.
No, that doesn't happen, the touching thing, but it happens.
Well, that was a one time, Nuno. I apologize several times for that.
Now, it happened in the past, like, people who either watch me on YouTube or just have used my tools. They want to meet me and they want to talk to me and everything. I think that also depends on the country. Like, if you go to Laracon EU, it doesn't happen often. It's more like people want to speak with you, but they're a little bit shy. And US happens way more, for example. But if you go to India, for example, that's a whole new level. People queue to talk to you.
Really?
It's just crazy, man. Honestly, spend 8 hours taking photos and everything. In
That's
India, it's
nuts.
just that's why if you like to travel, like Laracon India, it's a total new level of. It's something I have. First time I was there, I was like shocked. I'm an extrovert person, I think, and I needed to go to the hotel in the middle. Just breathe, because there was so much people,
just overwhelming,
and I'm extrovert, so I cannot even imagine for an introvert or someone who drains energy during stuff like that. But yeah, it depends on the country. But I bet with you was the same, man. When I met you, and I said,
stop it,
Eric from the PHP Ugly Show, how you doing, dude? Blah blah blah. So it was a little bit of the same, I guess, right?
Nah. It was I was more starstruck. Like somebody would have recognized me. I'm like, this is weird. And I honestly didn't know how. It took me years, because I'm not an extrovert. I think I'm a funny person. I think I'm fairly social, but you have to like chisel away at me for a minute before I come out. I've tried to be more open quicker with people. But I would not approach people at all, and I've been told that I have a resting pissed off face. Like people are hesitant to approach me. So
you're a big scary teddy bear.
You're way bigger than I thought. That's for sure.
Really? Oh, Cool. My wife remembers you. So my wife was like, for some reason, you mentioned Portugal. For some reason, I had it in my head you were from Brazil. And
no,
I
Portugal.
mentioned that you were going to be on the show today, and she's like, oh, Nuno, I love Nuno. Wait, what Nuno is it? I'm like, the one from Brazil? I'm like, I think they're both from Brazil. She goes, long hair, short hair. I'm like, first off, why is it like, is your opinion going to change? And I'm like, no, because there's another Nuno that was very, very, I had a lot of conversations with and got to meet my wife. But anyways, I clarified that was you. And she goes, oh, yeah, I love that Nuno. I'm like, how do you feel about the other guy? Because at some point we're going to run into him again.
How many shows do you guys have? Do you guys have any idea how many shows you guys have recorded?
So we stopped PHP Ugly at 400. Mm-hmm. And then this one we've stopped counting incrementally, and we're doing this Semver thing because we thought it was funny, and then it was
Eric's, a terrible idea.
It makes Eric's job hard at the beginning, so I love it. So now we kind of stopped,
and now we have a couple of roundtables sprinkled in there as well. So
wait, what? PHP Roundtable was also like part of your umbrella?
Oh, you don't know about that? Yeah.
Well, I do know about PHP. Well, I think PHP Roundtable is like even prior to me starting listening PHP podcasts. So I remember like some dude from Datadog being there. Even Taylor was there once, I think.
Yeah.
So Sammy K. Powers used to host it. It was his podcast.
So it was the weirdest thing. I had like this like within a year, like my life just spun around in circles. But see, I got a email from Sammy. He's like, hey, can we jump on a call sometime? And I'm like, yeah. I met him a few times, but we've never had like, oh, hey, let's work together sort of conversation. Mm-hmm. He's like, can we jump on a call sometime? I'm like, yeah, absolutely. And I jump on, and he goes, hey, I've been busy. I've got all these things going on. You're doing a great job with Ugly. Would you be interested in, taking over PHP Roundtable for me? And I'm like, yeah. I'll definitely, I thought he was suggesting for like a couple months or something, but he was just like basically saying no,
giving away.
Yeah. And so I get Roundtable, and I'm trying to get like a pattern going with Roundtable, and then next thing you know, we get the opportunity to buy to take over PHP Architect. And with that, we have PHP Tech, and like my head just starts spinning, and I stretched myself way too thin, and so we still have Roundtable. Matter of fact, we talked about Ashley, him, TJ, and another person. We keep trying to set up a Roundtable to talk about AI. So I still have it. I definitely haven't been a great steward of it. And I need to think about changing that, but yeah. So it's Sammy's. I'm kind of babysitting it for Sammy right now. But yeah, it's if Sammy ever came to me and said, "Hey, yeah, would you mind this?"
You're doing a terrible job. Give it back to me.
Yeah. That's what I'm waiting to get that report card, because I have. I've been absolutely terrible at it. So, but yeah. So yeah, for
when
a while
you host it, you're great at it. It's just a matter of getting people together.
The time. And Roundtable is a challenge, right? Like, I mean, one person on the show is not such a big deal, but with Roundtable, you're using like a few people, different time zones around the world. Like trying to find a time that works for everybody on the topic. It's just tough, man. It's tough to do.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, that's why I stream alone at the moment. Like, because finding someone that is able to do the stuff I do on the pace I want to do is just difficult. So that's why I've been doing stuff alone.
who can keep up with you? I mean, you're like, how do you even work at Laravel? Like, where do you find that time?
I'm just saying, for example, because right now you guys know, like, streaming is tough, right? Like, you guys stream, and being able to be every week here consistently for, you guys know this because we have 400 episodes or more. It's just tough in general. Like, it's a lot of work.
It's a grind.
It is a grind, exactly. So it's a grind that you have to put on top of your work, which is even more work. So, and at the moment I'm streaming 3 times a week. You guys are doing once a week, right? At the moment.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's a lot, and I can imagine it's a lot of work already. So
yeah, and we're forced. So PHP Architect actually has 3 things, right? They have Community Corner that they do. We just started a new podcast. Actually, we didn't start it. A couple of our team members said, "Hey, we're thinking about podcasting." So they started doing PHP Alive and Kicking. And that was exactly what I told them. I'm like, you think you want to do this because it looks like fun, but in a couple months, it's a grind, and it gets harder and harder. Like I know with Ugly, like you can tell, John will back me up on this. With Ugly, I tried to stop that show so many times because I didn't feel like I had it in me anymore, and I enjoyed doing it. Like that hour I was doing it, I enjoyed it. It's just like the lead up to it. It's just like I'm not in the mood this week. I don't want to do this week, and we just kept doing it. And we probably all felt that way at different times,
for sure. Yeah.
So, but now it's just like, it feels weird not doing it now. Like we've been doing it for so many years. It's like, wait a minute, we're not podcasting this week? God, that doesn't seem right.
Speaking of which, we won't be podcasting next week.
That's true. There will be a Live and Kicking in our time slot next week.
You probably now found the formula that really works well for you guys. And I think that's important. Find a formula where you are able to be consistent, because on this game, it's literally about consistency, man. If you can be very good, man, but doing like a couple of times and then disappearing for 3 months, that just basically kills the mood. So if you guys are able to do, I mean, and you are, that's why probably you have so many people watching you guys.
No, it's incredible. Like, we are definitely in the storybook of, you can do this for a really long time and still nobody cares.
I don't think that's it. No.
If you look at, like, I took a screenshot to share with Eric later just because it's funny. On Twitch right now, or at the point I took it, you had 19 viewers live right now, and I think we had like 7. Now it's 17 and 1.
But didn't you guys start on Twitch like a couple months ago, or just a month ago, or whatever?
No,
Eric
we've been
was
on
saying
Twitch
that, right?
we've been on Twitch for years.
Been there for a while. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
because of this restream, we stream to all the places, and Twitch has been one of them for a very long time.
Yeah.
We don't foster that community, and that's on us. For sure. It's hard because we try to do it once a week, but have it broadcast wherever you want to see it, whether it's Twitch, YouTube, X, whatever. Facebook, LinkedIn. Jeez.
Listen, I hate to do this because I'm having a great time. I'm having work done to my house, and I told these guys that I'd be back down there at like 4:00, and I haven't heard like saws going for a while, so I'm a little concerned. Like, these guys have stopped, so I'm gonna have to wrap this up. Nuno, man, it's great seeing you, man.
Yeah,
you are one of my favorite
much.
people. I can't wait to see another Laracon or a PHP Tech, maybe would be great. But fantastic.
And also, like, in my side, is honestly a pleasure to be here. Kind of a dream come true to be able to just chat with you guys a little bit here. And keep doing awesome, man. You guys are awesome.
You're awesome, man. Anytime, man. Whenever you just want to hang out, let me know. And
except for next week. Not next week.
Let's set up that speed run in the XDebug against DD, man. That will be fun, though.
Sounds good.
Eric, we're gonna need some of your code.
Okay, thanks everybody for hanging out. I hate to cut this so short, and I know we all love Nuno, but I do need to walk away, and I'm so important that the show can't carry on without me. So
I have stuff I have to get to too. So
all right, bye. Thanks everybody.
Oh wait.
But
Nobody put into YouTube that they wanted the ticket, so we're not giving one away.
I wasn't even going to mention. I was going to move on right on through that.
I don't want people thinking I just blew it off.
If you do want the ticket, try reaching out to us in Discord, and we'll figure if nobody else reaches out, you can have it. If other people reach out, we'll try to figure out a fair way to distribute it. Okay, thanks everybody. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
This has been PHP Podcast, the official podcast of PHP Architect, the industry's leading tech magazine and publisher, focused on PHP and web development. Subscribe today at phparch.com to see what the leaders in the community and industry are talking about.